Good afternoon, student. Our next topic is pointers. So first, I'm going to tell you the introduction about the pointer. So pointer which holds the address of another variable of same data type, and pointer that allows a function or a program to access a variable outside the preview of function or a program. In fact, using pointers, your program can access any memory location and the computer memory. So I'm going to start the practical demonstration with the help of Turbo C++. So we will use Turbo for the practical demonstration. So we use two different operators while implementing the pointers. One is star operator, that is used for the pointer, and another one is ampersand, that is specifically for the address. And now I'm going to share so we will start our program with our header files. So we will start with our first header file, that is include iostream dot h header file, that is for input and output, and second, that is include conio.h, that is specifically for the getch and clear screen functions. So now our next step is to start the void main function. So void is a type of function, and the main is our program's main function. Then after that, we have to declare some variables, because there are two different ways to declare the variable. One is simple variable that we always declare, that is suppose int a. So this is our normal variable, but today we are going to demonstrate our practical part for pointers. So for that, we declare pointer variable with star notation. So suppose first program is to accessing a variable through its pointer. Suppose we have one pointer variable. Suppose PTR is a pointer type variable, and we have another variable, that is x, and having a value of 10. And we have one more variable y. And now next step is to we just use pointer as equal to ampersand x. That means we are going to assign an address of x to the pointer, because our pointer, that is which holds the address of another variable of same data type, because all the three variables, they are having the same data type, that is integer. So suppose next step we just assign a value to the particular y, pointer to y. So here we are just going to write y is equal to pointer and semicolon. So how it will assign the value to the y variable, because we use our assignment operator. So assignment operator that helps to assign the value from right to left, because this is the working of assignment operator, that is equal to operator. Now our next step is to print the values. So here I'm just going to print the value. So suppose value of variable x is equal to, now I'm going to print the value of x, and we use endl for terminating the line. That is specific. This is a manipulator, endl is a manipulator. In next line, we just going to write the value of variable pointed to by ptr, that is our pointer, is equal to, and print that value, that is pointer ptr, and terminate the line with the semicolon, and just write one manipulator and L, and go to next line. Now we are going to print the address of a variable. So now we just write address of variable x is equal to, then it will show the address of a variable. So we just write ptr, and after that we are just going to print the address of y, or suppose we are just going to print the value of y. So value of y is equal to, that is y, then terminate this line. Now we are going to use getch function for holding the output screen, and now we are just going to close the compound statement. Now next step is to compile the program. So see, there is no error and no warning in this program. Now we are going to run this program. See, this is the value of x variable, that is 10, because we already assigned this x as a value with 10, and next is value for pointed variable, that is 10, because we just assign the address to the particular pointer. So that address we have the value is 10, and address of variable x is equal to, so this is the address of x variable 0x8f C844, oh sorry, triple F4, and the value of y, we just use one manipulator here that is more clear to use. So now again I'm going to run this. So this is all about the values. So value of x 10, then value of variable pointed to the by the pointer, that is 10, address of variable x. So this is the way where we use pointer variable and how we can print the address of the variable. So now I'm just going to take another example for the pointer that is assigned the value of another pointer. So suppose we have two pointers. Again, I'm just going to erase this. So suppose we have pointer 1, that is ptr, and we have pointer 2, that is suppose ptr 1. So right now we are having two pointers. One is pointer ptr and another one is ptr 1. And next, suppose we have a variable x, and x is having a value of suppose 100, and we just write semicolon here, and next step is to assign the value to one pointer to another pointer. Then how we can assign the value? So suppose we just write here pointer is equal to ampersand x. That means we are going to assign the address to this particular pointer. And next step is How we can assign the one pointer value to another pointer? We just write ptr1 is equal to ptr. That means in this step we are just going to assign the value to pointer 1. Whatsoever the pointer having the value that assigned to this pointer 1 variable. So our next step is to print the value of x and to print the value of pointer. So here I am just going to use cout print the value of x, and we are just printing the value of x, and we use endl manipulator. And now next step is to print the address of x variable. We just write ampersand x, and we will use endl. And next step is to print the value of pointer. Print the value of pointer. So we just write ptr here and use one manipulator. Next step is to print the value of pointer pointer 1, because we have two pointers. We just print the value for ptr1. We use endl manipulator and semicolon. We just use one function clear screen that is specifically for clear the previous program output. So next is, first we just compile the program. There is one error because we just missed the incorrect the manipulator and L. Now just going to compile the program again. So there is no error. I'm going to run the program. See, we will print the address of the space. We will print the address. First, we will print the x is having a value of 100. Now we will pass the address to this x. So this is the address of x, and this is the address of again x, because we just assign the address to this pointer, and this is the address of another variable. We print the value of pointer 1 as well and pointer 2 as well. So we just write star operator here. So because we want to print the value for both pointer 1 and pointer as well. So again, I'm going to run the program. So see, we will get the address of pointer x, where the address of pointer x, and this is the value for pointer, and this is the value for pointer 1. So this is a way to where we just assign one pointer's value to another pointer. Our next is pointer arithmetic. So pointer arithmetic, that means in the case of its integer type of pointer variable. If pointer variable is incremented, then address of pointer will be incremented by 2 address space. This is because one integer value that takes 2 bytes to store. So therefore the increment in address will be of 2 positions. If we are taking the example of integer type variable, if we are taking the example of float type variable, so address space that will be incremented by 4 address space. If we are taking the example of with the help of character, then it will incremented space by 1. How it will assign the address space? Now I'm going to take the example of arithmetic pointer. I'm going to start a new program. So we will start program with again hash include iostream dot h and second header file, that is conio dot h. We will start our main function, and we are just going to initialize value integer type variable. Suppose int a is having a value of 10, and we have one integer type pointer, that is pointer ptr. So name of a pointer is ptr, and we just write multiplication operator or star operator before the declaration of variable. In next step, we are just going to assign the address of a variable to pointer. So here we just write pointer is equal to address of a. Now I'm just going to write cout address of pointer before incremented. Before increment, we just write ptr and semicolon. We use one manipulator as well. And after that, we want to increment by with the help of increment operator, because we have increment operator that is plus plus and minus minus. If we want to decrement, we will use minus minus. If we want to increment, we will use pointer plus plus as well for increment. Now next step is to print the value of address of pointer after increment. That is ptr and endl and semicolon. Now I'm using getCS for holding the output screen and close the compound statement. I just use one function. So we will use clear screen for clear screen function. Now I'm going to compile the program. One error, that is again and L. So now I'm going to run the program. So see, address of pointer before increment is this, and last digit is 4. Then after increment, value is 6. Why 6? Because we use integer type variable, and integer type variable that takes space only 2 bytes. So it will incremented by 2 space. So that is why our output is incremented by 2 space from 4 to 6. So in same way, if we are talking about the decrement operator, so how it will work if we are taking the example for decrement operator, that means here we just use the plus plus operator. So plus plus operator, that is specifically for the increment. So that is why our address that is incremented by 2 address space. if we just remove plus plus from here and write minus minus, what does it means? It means we just want to decrement the address space of 2 bytes. Why 2 bytes? Because we use integer type operator, or sorry, integer type data type here. And here we just use operator as a minus minus for subtraction or decrement operator. I'm just going to run the program. You will better understand. So see, after, sorry, address of pointer before decrement. Here I want to write a decrement. Decrement before is 4 and after decrement the address is 2. Because we decrement with minus minus. And 2, why 2? Because our data type is integer. Suppose here I am just going to declare the data type for float. So when we are taking the example in the case of float, that means our address space is incremented or decremented by 4 address space. So see, this is our 4 decremented by value. So I'm just taking another example. Suppose we are just going to increment here with the help of float. So see, it will incremented by 4 bytes, 4 address space. Because we use data type as a float, and float is taking the space that is 4 bytes. So our address increment, whether we are using increment operator or whether we are using decrement operator, it will increment by 4 address space. If we are using plus plus, if we are using minus minus, it will decrement by 4 address space. So if we are using plus operator here, plus only plus and minus is our addition operator or subtraction operator. Because in this program we just use the plus plus operator, that is increment operator or decrement operator we already use. So the next process is we will use plus operator, only plus arithmetic operator, that is plus and subtraction. Suppose here we will use pointer plus 2. We are not using plus plus, it is increment operator. We just use the plus operator by 2. Now let's see what will happen. Suppose I'm just going to use here integer type value, and it will increment by 2. Student, our next program that is based upon the arithmetic operator with pointers. So I just declare as a comment on arithmetic operator with pointer. So in this we just declare the 3 different pointers for assigning the value to one or another pointers. So first we will declare 3 pointers, pointer 1, pointer 2 and pointer 3. We are having the one variable a, and that is having the value of 10, and we just pass the address to first pointer. Then we will print the address of pointer 1. So next step is we will use pointer 2 is equal to pointer 1 plus 2. That is specifically for the address of pointer 2. So here we just write address of pointer ptr2, and we will just print the value of pointer 2. And next we will use for pointer 3, we will use pointer 3 is equal to PTR minus 2, because we will use two different arithmetic operator here. One is plus, that is for increment by 2, and here we are just using the pointer variable arithmetic operator, that is minus. So it will increment by 4 and decrement by 4, and we will print the value after decrement with the help of cout address of pointer 3, and we will print the address of PTR 3. And now we are going to use endl, and this we just missed one operator here and use one manipulator and L, and after that we will use getch for holding the output screen and close the compound statement for main function. Now we are going to compile the program. So there is two error. What type of error? That is pointer, because we have pointer 1 here, because we don't have any PTR pointer, we have PTR 1 pointer. So that is why our error is occurred. So now we are just going to compile again. Still one error, that is same and L. So now there is no error in this program. Now we are going to run the program. See, this is the address of variable. So first, that is the address of pointer, that is, this is the address of PTR 1. And here we just incremented by 4, because we are using plus 2. So integer type value that increment by 2 space, but plus 2 we just want to increment by 2 plus 2. So that is 4 space. So here 4 space is incremented. Then after that in PTR 3 we just print the value. We will use the operator as a subtraction operator, that is for minus. And here it will decrease by 4 space in our last output. So this is a exactly way to use the increment and decrement operator for arithmetic operator with pointers. So now our next step is using the dynamic memory allocations. Dynamic memory allocations, that means we are using the values, or we are using two different operators, that is new operator and delete operator. So new and delete both are working with the help of dynamic memory allocation. So dynamic memory allocation, what does it mean? To allocate and deallocate the memory at execution time. So new operator that allocate the memory to the particular variable we will take example in the case of dynamic memory allocation, because in this case we are using two different operators. One is new and second one is delete. So new, that is specifically for allocation the memory, and the delete operator we will use for deallocating the memory. How we will use? We will create one program for that for dynamic memory allocation. We just write here as a comment dynamic memory allocation, and we will start our program again same way. We will use some header files. First we have to include the header file, that is iostream.h, that is specifically for the input output operators. And the second, that is include conio.h, that is specifically for the console input output. And we will start our main function, And start compound statement, we have to declare some pointer variables here. Suppose we will use declare one pointer variable as a float, and name of the pointer variable is ptr. That is specifically for the pointer we are just using, and we just assign ptr is equal to new. That means we are just allocating the memory new with the help of new operator as a float variable. So we just close the statement. That means in this we just allocate the memory. Our next step is we are using the pointer variable for assigning some value. So here we are just going to assign some pointer type value, and we just want to print this value. We just use star ptr and semicolon. Now we just allocate the memory with the help of new operator, and next step is to deallocate the memory. And how we will deallocate the memory? We will use delete as an operator with ptr, because we allocate the memory to ptr, we have to deallocate the memory for ptr. So now we are using delete, because new and delete, they both are keywords and operators for allocation and deallocation of the memory. So ptr semicolon, then we just use getch for holding the output screen and close the compound statement. And now I'm just going to compile first program, no error, going to run. So it will show the value of 10.5. I just use one clear skin function for clearing previous program output. So see, it will show the 10.5. So it will just allocate the memory with the help of new operator and deallocate the memory with the help of delete operator. So this is all about the dynamic memory allocation. And okay, students, thank you.